Hi everybody, I'm doing some watercoloring today. This is actually the Christmas stocking stamp from Desiree over at Include a Thank You. And I'm not even sure which watercolor paper this is. I don't know if you can see this on camera. This is very textured. So it's a little different from, almost like maybe it's a cotton paper, watercolor paper, but anyway. So I'm just going to be doing, this is simple. I mean, I am not any kind of watercolor expert for sure. So I'm just going to jump in here. And let me get a little more water on these. I just went ahead and squirted some water in there before I started. So we're just going to do these ornaments all different colors. These, I got these watercolors in a kit. I made a donation, a charitable donation at Simon Says Stamp, I believe, and got a card kit, and these watercolors were in the kit. They are from Crafter's Companion. And I make work on like first one side and then the other here. Oh, I don't know if I really like that color. Let's see about this pink. We're just going to change that up. See, I don't like that one. Let's try this. Like I said, oopsie. I kind of want to keep these colors lighter. And that's bleeding over a little bit, which I mean, I'm not that fussed about it. Get a little more color here. Wants to cut. I want to cover up the texture of that paper a little bit. And I did not, sometimes I will heat emboss to sort of keep the color in one's inside of the image or the section I'm coloring. I didn't do this. I just stamped this with, let's see, I used the Altenew pigment ink. for this. The Altenew Obsidian Pigment ink is the one I used to stamp these images. And then I did not heat emboss it afterwards. I'm just playing with these watercolors and getting some color down on here. Let's see, let's try this sort of greenish color here. Didn't even go over this with water, which is fine. I actually think that worked better. Oh, that's pretty. I like that color. Let's see, I don't want to get an image too close. I don't want it too... I don't want the wet watercolor from one ornament that I've already done. If I don't let it dry, it'll sort of get sucked over into the other image. It's a really pretty color. Hopefully I'm not sticking my head in there. And it is Saturday. Been doing laundry, vacuuming. I've got a load in there waiting for me. It needs to go in the dryer. But I actually forgot about it. I started this and then I was like, dang it. Whoopsie, I've got that over there. There we go. See, that bled over, but I'm just going to cover that up. Let's try this green here. So I don't watercolor a lot. And I have a ton of different watercolors. I mean, I have tubes, I have pans, I have metallics, I have semi-moist, I have dry, I have watercolor pencils, and I really just don't get them out enough. I like that green too. I really don't get them out enough and use them. I think we're that way about a lot of our craft supplies. We want to have all the things, and then we have so much that sometimes things get set back and not used like we should use them. Like I've been saying I was going to do a foiling video since I got my Pink and Main ink machine, but have I done it? No, I have not. But there's also only so many hours in a day. For us to craft, especially when you have to do things like laundry and vacuum and clean the bathroom. All of our daily chores. Let's see, is there one? I'm going to try to just cover this one up a little bit. I don't like this where I mixed those colors. I don't like the way it looks, so we're going to cover it up. Because if we don't like it, we can do that. And it's a little bit of paper and ink, so if we mess up, we can throw it away. If it can't be fixed, or if we just don't want to fix it. I'm going to do another one of these. I like this. I just like the way that looks. Let's see if we can get in here and not muck it up. Here, that is. Let me wipe that off on my cloth. Oop. Way too much water. So if you get too much water, just dry off your brush. Spread this out a little bit. So, but you can dry off your brush and pull off some of that water. And I could change it up and go over to the other side, but I feel like I'm sort of invested in this one now. It makes no sense at all, but there you go. But I think I am going to have to change. So I don't want to mess it up if I can help it. And here comes a cat. Hey, Kiki. What you doing? What you doing, Miss Kiki? She's our princess. She's probably going to come peep at me. She may want me to play, but she should have come in here sooner. That's all I can say. Got that a little watery, but I'm just going to pull it to the inside. Pull it to the inside. I'm kind of like imagining how this goes in the background just to know whether to paint that little section. Let's see, 1, 2. Let's do one more in this green. I do like these colors. They're somewhat muted. If you can see that, maybe I should turn this light on. They are somewhat muted colors. And by that, I mean, it's not like a bright red, a bright green, a bright yellow. It's, I don't know how to explain it exactly, but, and I don't know if it's because of, what is this color? Like the mica or whatever they put in it for the shimmery look. So it's not like, what I do here, the pinkest pink or the darkest red. I'm going to pull a little of this up. I'm going to do one more in this color. And I do have a paler pink over here. I think I'm going to try it too. Pull a little bit of that off on my rag. I just have a microfiber cloth over here. Let's try this super pale pink. Let's go back to this other. This is just the top of the stocking that has the ornaments, of course. Oh, that's a pretty, pretty pink. Super pretty. I like that a lot. Let's see, let's just put a pink next to this red, and since that bled into it, it's easier to pull that color out. And I'm not even sure what this is, so we're gonna test it on our palette over here. Is that a gray? Is it a... I don't know. I'm kind of afraid to try that, test that on an ornament, so we're not going to. And, oh, that is a green. That is funny because I really thought this was the black. And let's try that color. That's pretty. It's a different... Okay, let's do some green ornaments over here. And I know this is going to take me a little bit, so I might pause while I finish and then come back. So that, oh, I don't like that. That covered up all the black, all the detail from the ornament. So if you need to pull up that color, lay down some water and dab it up. Lay down some water and dab it up. There. Wow, that really covered that black up. And I don't want to do that. But let me now put some color back on here. Not as nice a color on, well, on the ornament as I thought it would be. So we are going to move right along. Some of these metallics, as you see, are more opaque instead of translucent. Do a little blue here. My husband is in the other room watching the rerun of Lonesome Dove. I can't believe it's been, let's see, something like 36 years since Lonesome Dove premiered. That is hard to believe. Time flies, that's all I can say. Let's try a yellow ornament. So do you all wait until Christmas to put up a tree and decorate? Do you do it at the beginning of November? Do you wait until it's closer to Christmas? I used to put mine up Thanksgiving Day. Since usually we would have company, my son would usually be here for Thanksgiving. So it was kind of something we could do together, but now he likes to, since he's moved a tiny bit further away, and so now he will go to my sister's for Thanksgiving and then come to our house for Christmas. Let's see, there's that one. Okay. And my stepdaughter, they live up in Virginia, so they don't usually come. My youngest stepson, they live in Brunswick, and her mother, well, supposedly she only claims Thanksgiving, but honestly, then she gets angry if they aren't there for every single holiday. Even 4th of July, Memorial Day, etc., etc. Oh, this gold is really pretty. It is a beautiful sunny day today. We could probably use a little more rain, but we will just take what we get. This is not very even here, so I'm going to swirl a little water. See if we can get this evened up. I don't want to cover up the detail totally. We'll just have Although I could maybe take a black fine liner and add some of that detail back. So I'm going to pause this and finish up this coloring, and I will be back. Hi everybody, I'm back. I have my 2 images watercolored. I did go back with my 0.005 fine liner and put some of the lines back in these. You can't really see it on camera, but I did darken up some of the lines again. And then I fussy cut this, and I went around the edge with just, this isn't our Arteza marker, but it's, I mean, it's just like a Sharpie. Except I actually do like these a lot better. So anyway. Then I have that image. This is some older pattern paper from 49 and Market. And when I say older, I mean it's probably 4 or 5 years old. I did one in gold and one in silver embossing. Oh, you can't hardly see that one, can you? There we go. That's very shiny. And I am going to, and I am casing this card. I meant to say that earlier. Sean Manley, I saw him do this on a card, so go back and watch his videos with this entire release of stamps. Anyway, so we are going to get one card finished. So I was trying this out on pattern paper. This is a fail, but I saved it so I can do a mask here. And I'm just going to put my rag out. Going to move this stuff out of the way so I don't splatter it all. And let me grab, I tend to like a fan brush for this, and I have lost one of my fan brushes, the old Grody one that I used for this stuff. So we are going to get this gold going here. Come on. Let's see here. Boy, it's really tiny splatters. But that's okay. And we are going to do quite a bit on here. Come on, get in the corner. And now I'll probably have splatter all over my desk. Oh, I do. Haha. You should see my poor mouse. It is full of white splatters. Okay, and then we'll lift that up. That looks strange. We're not going to worry about that. Okay. Then we are going to, I'm going to pop this up on a little bit of foam tape. You don't have to. I just like it. Wait, that's black, my scrapbook.com black foam tape. Where's my white? Oh, here it is. I didn't put it in the right spot. Imagine that. I did not put it back where it was supposed to be. Grab my scissors, cut some little pieces so I can go around and get all the uneven edges here. Where the little ornaments bump out. And I finished my watercoloring and left them to dry, and went to finish my laundry, which is still not in the dryer because I got sidetracked. I looked down at my shirt and I had splashed leftover sauce from when I ate lunch on the white part of my shirt. It couldn't land on one of the blue parts. No. It had to land right on the white. And I don't, oh, there went that piece of foam tape. I don't know if it's going to come out or not, but I have stain treated it and it is waiting for me to finish up here, but I'm so irritated. I joke about not being able to buy any white stuff for my husband, and here I splash stuff on my shirt. Guess I'm going to have to buy myself a couple of bibs. My mother actually did that for herself when she got older. Okay, let's see. And you'll see I put, when I put foam tape on something, I put a lot of foam tape, because I don't like to have any pieces that will bend. Okay, let's make sure I'm going to put the right piece down. Or, you know, put it on right side. This scrapbook.com foam tape release paper comes off really easily, and I appreciate that. Good Lord, words are hard today. I swear all I've had is coffee and some tea. Okay. Let's get this down. And I don't mind if a little of the gold shows around the edge. I kind of like that. And we're going to put this on a card. I'm going to have to make some more card bases this afternoon too. because I'm running low. And you'll see, usually I leave a little border, but this just does fit on an A2 card base. So I am going to grab my paper trimmer because this has a lip on the top and the bottom. That's one reason I love this little paper trimmer. And we are going to put this down. So I'm going to check real quick. I probably need to take off the teeny tiniest sliver. There, see that? That is like a cat whisker. Just so it won't hang off the, hang off the back of the card. So, let me set that water aside, grab my glue. In case you're wondering, this is the little, it's a point protector for a knitting needle, but my larger size tip, it works great as a, because I couldn't get a pin big enough for this. And I do have some extra fine tip bottles, but actually I use this one most of the time. You just have to be, if you're careful how you squeeze it. It really works. Get up there. It really works great. If I would quit moving this around, I'm going to have a lot more success. There, did I get that up there to the edge? I did get that up there to the edge. But I didn't get it on straight at the bottom. Let's try this one more time. There you go. There you go. You know something? We are going to fix this. Either my little card front is a little bit off or my card base is slightly off. So that is a pretty easy fix. There we go. I just want to take that off a little bit. Yep. Easy peasy. And then take my scissors and very carefully get this tiny bit. Being careful not to cut the back of my card base off. And there we are. are. Can you see how that's popped up? Isn't that pretty? So Sean did a version of this, and Desiree over at Include Thank You, she did a version of this. Hopefully my card's not too exactly close to theirs, because I couldn't remember quite how they had done theirs. Only that they had stamped the image and then added these. Desiree did hers a lot. She didn't even use the stocking. I don't think she did a much different card. But anyway, this is my version on pattern paper. Oh, I just love this stocking. And I'm going to cut this out really quick. This one I'm going to leave a slight border on. Well, not on this. Well, yeah. Maybe. No, not on this side. Not on the stocking side. But on the rest of it. I don't know why I hold my thumb so weird when I fussy cut. And I do not like to fussy cut. Well, for one thing, it hurts my hands because I have arthritis and tendonitis. It's great. So fussy cutting is not my thing, but I don't hate it as much as I used to. I think part of that is just getting a little more experienced with fussy cutting over the years. And I also had to put up my scanning cut in the closet when well, it's a whole nother debacle to talk about. I thought I had thrown away the wrong mat for it, because I'd ordered a mat directly from Brother, and that I thought was the right mat. Well, it's not the right mat, because mine has to have some kind of little computer scanning thingy on it that the machine reads, almost like a barcode or something, little dots on it that it reads. Well, Brother doesn't even sell that mat, and then they wouldn't take the mat back. So yeah, I wasn't happy about that. I threw away I thought I was throwing away that mat, and then I freaked out because I was like, thought I had thrown away the new $30 mat. So I put it away. Well, no, I had thrown away the correct mat. So I'm just a big boob. Okay, let's see how this is gonna work. I'm gonna cut a little more off of here. And I'm gonna cut a little more off of here. Okay, then we are going to, it's probably getting clogged up, grab our marker and just go around this edge this time. And anyway, so I got some, redid my craft space. It's not really a whole room. And now I don't really have a table set up for the scan and cut, so. I really like this. I'm going to do the same thing here and put some splatter on. But, let's see, I do not have a silver metallic. So I'm just going to use the white. I'll fan brush back over here. Grab my sprayer bottle. Get this really good in. Get a lot of the pigment in here, not just water. There we go. I'll tell you, if I use this instead of my finger, it would probably splatter better. And I am just not getting good splatters here. Or at least they... Whoops, got some purple in there, although I don't think it really matters. There's a little bit of color in that cardstock. I might just have to switch up. I think I'm going to have to switch up and do black splatter instead. So, excuse me while I get a little black, and we're going to just change directions here. I'll tell you, maybe I need to change my brushes because I got plenty of water and paint, but it is not wanting to give me splatters. There we go. These black splatters don't show up on my mouse like the white ones do on my computer mouse. Okay. Holy moly. And truthfully, these two cards did not take that long to come together. I'm going to put my heat gun on that just a second, and it's probably going to make some noise here, so excuse me really quickly. Just partially dry that while I put foam tape on my ornaments. This seemed to take longer because well, I'm just so slow for one thing when I craft. but also I was jumping up and running off and doing other things. Let's see here. And then the thing that takes the longest is just letting your watercolor dry, and you can always speed that up with your heat tool. Or even a little hair dryer on low speed. I think I tend to use more foam tape than I actually need. Oh, come on, quit being fumbly. Oh, and sorry, I keep getting off camera today. I like these scissors. They're pretty non-stick. Right now they are getting a little gummed up because I have been using them so much for, oh please, for cutting. And I mean, any scissors are going to get a little bit sticky after you've cut with them for a while. But these are pretty non-stick, and they are not even touted as being non-stick. They're really sewing scissors. Okay, let me get a couple more pieces. I just don't like these pokey outy pieces to get bent down. Especially since I mail most of my cards. And let's do one more little thin sliver here. I'm going to call that done this time. Get this foam tape on here evenly so things don't stick to it. Yep, that's dry. I wanted to make sure so I don't smear stuff all over the place. So don't be afraid to use your watercolors. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Experiment with your colors. Heck, you can experiment on a plain piece of watercolor paper. Just laying different colors down and just use it for a background. Oh, it's a little more off than I like. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And it just highlights the ornaments. There we go. That really highlights. And this is a really pretty card. Really pretty. And you could actually, and that's going to be a little bit over again. I can't really take much off of this, but I'm going to try to cut just a sliver on each. close. And a teeny tiny sliver. I don't want to cut the toe of the stocking off. That was a little crooked. So let's see how that's going to fit. One here. That looks pretty good. I'm going to have to cut a little bit off of the bottom. But I'm going to worry about that after I get this on, this panel on. I love double-sided paper. I don't really buy single-sided papers anymore because I like to have that option of having the two sides, but at the same time, sometimes it's hard to, you know, pick a side. Push that back down. Oh, that looks so nice, y'all. Another thing I like about being able to have a border around is it's a little more forgiving than trying to put a card front exactly on there. See, I got a little edge there. That looks great. And then you can see there's a teeny tiny bit sticking out at the bottom. So let's see if I can trim that off. Get back in there some. Get back. Oh yeah, perfect. That is perfect. And that's my two cards. Except, where did I put the other card? Oh, it's under my foam tape. So these are so pretty. I have not stamped out any sentiments from the stamp set. Shame on me. But I do have some here. Some other sentiments already stamped out on my desk. So let's grab something and put it on at least one sentiment. How about 'Tis the Season? Boy, did I ever cut these crooked or what? You should see this up. That is like so crooked, it is not even funny. Okay. Let's put this in there. There we go. I straightened it out. That was bad. And I also have, we're going to put this on here because I have this shimmer splash and I'm going to just go around the edge of this sentiment with this gold shimmer splash. This is called Gilded. It's from Brutus Monroe. Sorry, concentrating. Trying not to mess it up. Another little piece of tape on here. Nope, I'm gonna have to cut some more. Oh, I've got to clean off my scissors too. A lot of people say you can use alcohol to clean the gunky off your scissors, but like the adhesive, I don't feel like that works very well for me. So what I usually do is grab my my little adhesive eraser thingy. This one's looking pretty bad. And just wipe it over the blade a whole bunch of times. And that usually gets all the sticky stuff off. Now, where do you put the... Oh no, decision. That's got the embossing messed up here. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to put my sentiment right there and hide that boo-boo on the embossing. So it looks kind of odd, doesn't it? That does not usually come up that well. I don't like it there. How about here? Does that look better? I don't know. I can't decide. So you know something? I'm not going to put a sentiment on it now. I'm going to have to, I'm going to wait and think about this. And you actually don't have to put a sentiment on your card. I know several crafters who they just don't really do sentiments. So, and it's your card. You can change your mind if you want to about how you want to do it. And anyway, those are my 2 cards for the day. And thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.